My name is Vidya Selvamony. I'm a practicing advocate in Bangalore and a visiting faculty at CMI University School of Legal Studies. This video is under the Pan-India Legal Literacy and Legal Awareness Program conducted by CEERA and National Law School India University under the aegis of Department of Justice, Government of India. Through this video, I will be discussing the issues pertaining to driving licenses and how important driving licenses is for any person who drives or rides a vehicle. So, firstly, it is important for us to understand that this document called as driving license is a document provided to the state, and this is required for anyone who rides an automobile of a certain type. The minimum driving age in India is 16 years for moped, it is under 50 cc, and 18 years for cars and motorcycles for more than 50 cc. The Regional Transport Office issues their own driving licenses in various states. Drivers are legally obliged to carry a valid driving permits called as driving license in India while driving, and it must be produced if required to do so by the police officers. In India, people aged above 50 years or more have to undergo a strict medical test in order to obtain a permit that has limited validity and requires renewal. Every 5 years, a commercial driving license is valid for a period of 3 years and then requires to be renewed. India have introduced the driving license chip card in the year 2019 October and set up a national-wide driving license database to fight against duplications. So as we told, the basic eligible criteria for holding a license is you should be 18 years or above for applying for a driving license. You should be well versed with the traffic rules and regulations. We should have a valid address proof and age proof document. We should have a valid learner's license first and subsequently a permanent license called as driving license. For commercial vehicle, any person asking for a commercial vehicle driving license should be about 20 years or above. Then there are various kinds of driving licenses. The first one is driving licenses for two-wheelers without gear. This kind of driving license is issued to drive mopeds or two-wheelers that are without gears. Second type is driving license for two-wheeler or four-wheelers with gear. This type is issued for cars or bikes. These will be called light motor vehicles, which can be used for private, commercial, or for transportation purpose. Driving license for heavy vehicles. The driving licenses is issued for heavy vehicles like passengers carrying or goods carrying. Driving licenses for roads, rollers, trailers, etc. Requirements. What are the requirements for a driving license? Firstly, documents required for a driving license is you need to submit a set of documents to process our driving license. And what are these documents which we need to submit are an application form number 4, duly filled and signed by the person applying for the driving license. This form number 4 can also be downloaded from the Regional Transport Office website. 6 passport size photographs for learner's license and 1 for permanent driving license. 1 copy of PAN card, 1 copy of address proof, it can be passport, voter's ID, ration card or Aadhaar card. 1 copy of birth certificate, school certificate or birth certificate. A copy of valid learner's license and the receipt of payments made as the prescribed fees which we need to pay. If these documents are submitted to the Regional Transport Office to issue a driving license. So who issues a driving license? The Regional Transport Office, in short called as RTOs, manages and issues driving license across the country. India has roughly more than 1,100 RTOs across the country. The RTO come under the purview of the Ministry of Road, Transport and Highway. The Regional Transport Office is the organization of the Indian government who are responsible for maintaining a database of drivers and a database of vehicles of various states in India. The RTO issues the driving license. They organize collections of heavy vehicle duties and also sells personalized registrations. Along with this, the RTO is also responsible to inspect vehicles, insurance, and clear the pollution tests. Functions of the RTO are to enforce the provisions of the various acts of motor vehicle, central motor vehicle rules, and the state motor vehicle rules as laid down by the government from time to time, to ensure that coordinated development of road transportation through management of permits, and to charge and collect tax as per the provisions of the Motor Vehicles Act. Application procedure for driving licenses, particularly in Bangalore, whether you're applying for a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, applying for any driving license is a two-stage process. You first need to apply for a learner's license, and only then you can apply for a permanent driving license. Step to apply, there are two modes to apply for a driving license. You can choose from online or offline mode as per your convenience. To apply online, we need to visit the Government of Karnataka Transport Department official website, find out the form 1, 2, 3 to apply for the driving license. Submit the form along with the necessary documents mentioned above. In case you still trust the offline procedure, then visit the Regional Transport Office and ask for form number 4. Fill in the form carefully and submit it along with the necessary documents mentioned. After submission, you will receive an application number and the authority will intimate the person for a slot to take the preliminary test. This test will relate to the evaluation of your knowledge about the traffic signals, traffic rules. After taking the test and clearing it, you will receive the learner's license immediately. But if we fail in the test, then we have to take the test once again. Post this, they will book a slot for driving test at the RTO office. We have to pay a minimum fees of ₹50 for learner's license and keep the record of the confirmation receipt very carefully. Forms of driving license and driving license will be explained. So these are the forms, I hope you can see, which are available in the RTO office, form number 1, 2, 3, and then form number 4. These forms need to be filled in carefully, and every person who is submitting for a DL or a LL need to sign this particular application forms, and should be submitted along with all the prescribed documents which we mentioned, and also they are along with the prescribed fees of ₹50 minimum fees for applying for a driving license. And then these are the steps for the permanent driving license. After we have received the learner's license, then within 30 days to 6 months, we need to visit the RTO office and then take up a driving test. The test will be conducted in the presence of a motor vehicle inspector. And this motor vehicles inspector will come with you along for the test, or will see your driving skills. And we can take our own motor vehicle for this test, or we can also use the vehicles provided by the police inspector, and go for a thumb impression if the motor vehicle inspector is satisfied with your performance. For a permanent driving license, we need to pay fees of ₹200. After this, we receive a permanent driving license. And for these are some tips to clear your driving test easily. Firstly, everyone should be aware of the traffic signals. Secondly, we need to be confident, but we should not be overconfident while appearing for the driving test. Then do not give the test under the effect of alcohol. It will be good to use side mirror and indicators and hand signals as appropriate. The gear movement should be smooth enough that prevents vehicle turn off in the middle of the test when driving. Then practice and be sure of making an imaginary 8 for the driving test. Now, in many tests, they tell us to take 8, where we need to be prepared of reverse and taking that particular shape without vehicle stopping and in a smooth manner. So if these we follow, definitely we will be able to pass the driving test and get our driving licenses. Without the driving licenses, we cannot take our two-wheeler, four-wheeler, or the heavy motor vehicles on the road. In case we take, then we are subjected to a heavy penalty according to the Motor Vehicles Act. Hope this presentation gives you a brief insight on why there is importance for driving license. Thank you.